Like I remember one time, my grandma, she was like, oh, like what, like it was so sad. She was like, oh, what did I like what, like what did we do wrong, sort of thing. And I
Mm,
don't know, like not to go into deep, but like my grandma kind of felt like she was like, oh, like I don't understand, like I felt bad because I've I've like six children, only one like had sickle cell, and she was just like,
mm,
she just felt so like she kept thinking, oh, it's a my fault. I was like, no, it's not. Listen, don't do that. It's not your fault at all. But it's just that kind of hearing that and knowing there's nothing you can do about it. It's
yeah,
sad, man.
it
Like,
is.
because again, like what you said, like it's like they feel like they're not supposed to bury
Yeah.
their children. It's not supposed to happen like that. So it's just. But even I get that tradition, but even I don't know if I mean, do you feel like you'll continue that tradition though, of what God forbid no one
Oh,
passes
please,
away.
let's not even answer that
Yeah,
question.
God forbid no one passes away.
No, God
Yeah,
forbid. No,
you
I'm
know.
not. I don't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
honestly. I don't
Let's
even
not.
want to
Yeah, yeah,
think.
yeah.
I don't even want to think about
Yeah.
that.
Let's
By the
yeah,
grace of God, my
yeah.
children
Amen.
outlive me. That's what
Amen.
I'm.
Amen. Let me.
That's
Sorry,
what we
I
pray.
didn't
No,
even
no,
mean
no. I
to.
get it. I get it. Because it's just tradition. You just think, what kind of traditions will we continue? What kind of things will we drop? I feel like one thing I'm definitely going to drop is this whole men can't cry, men can't,
Yeah,
be emotional. I feel like because I've seen my dad, like I've grown up with. I mean, I've got two brothers. They're not very emotional. They're not. I think the last time I saw my older brother cry is when someone has died. Like I
yeah,
don't, and he doesn't. He broke down when my sister died because
yeah.
that was his closest sibling, his best friend. So I think that's the worst I've ever seen my older brother. Other than that, my older brother doesn't cry. My little brother barely cries.
But
Like
do you try to
doesn't
challenge,
cry.
like not challenge them, but just kind of say, oh, just like not,
Encourage them to talk.
are you okay? Like what's going on with you? Everything cool? Or, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's so important. I feel like women need to, and this is not me bashing women because listen, I'm awful. Do you know what I mean? I'm a
Listen,
girl's
listen.
girl.
Anything. Listen. Let me just clap in case we need to edit anything out. Because anything you want to say, don't worry. If you don't want it to be
Oh
to
no, no,
stay in.
no, no. It's not. I just don't want to say it in a way that sounds like I'm bashing women. I feel like as women, we should encourage men, or maybe do more, so men feel comfortable to talk or feel comfortable to show their emotions. I feel like sometimes men feel like they have to be like this very, very strong guy, and naturally, yes, because someone has to be the strong person. And as
Yeah,
women, we're more inclined to not be that person.
yeah.
So generally, the onus is on men to, be the strong person, be the emotional support when things go wrong. Even if the woman's breaking down, the man should keep it together. And yes, ideally, yes, that would be nice. But I feel like it's very important for men to have like an outlet, even if it's not with your woman. Even though you should be able to show your emotions with your woman, but if it's with your friends, just have someone that you can be completely vulnerable around. I feel like because of the relationship I have with my dad, and I've seen him, I've seen my dad break down. I've seen my dad, we've had like very emotional conversations. I've seen my dad cry. It's put me in a position where a man crying to me is not a big deal. I feel like even with like friends and like the men in my life, I feel like they're very comfortable with being vulnerable with me because I don't know if I have that, that aura that you can be.
Mm,
But because I've seen it, it's not gonna phase me. If one of my friends called me crying and it's happened, like my male friends will call me and cry, or I've seen them cry.
mm,
Because I'm not gonna look at you any different. I'm not gonna treat you like less of a man. Like I encourage that behavior because you need to have an outlet. You need to be able to release
mm.
so you can be strong. You can't be strong all your life. You're gonna have times where life is a lot, especially for a man. It's a lot. There's so much you have to deal with. You need to be able to be free to cry if you need to cry, or just and just not be judged.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's. Oh no, sorry. Go on. Go
I
on.
think I think the early problem with that is some men um they want to be vulnerable, but they want to be vulnerable with someone that they can trust,
Yeah,
because obviously um they can't just say to anyone that might not have that maturity
yeah.
to understand. And I think, if you think, correct me if I'm right or wrong, do you think men in barbershops, when they go to a barbershop, do you think that's the time when they're
Therapy.
vulnerable with certain things? Because
Yeah,
when it comes to barbers, I think a lot can slip out,
Mm.
when people talk
yeah.
about private.
No, I think so definitely, but I think I don't know. I do agree with like you mentioned open up, but I think it depends on about what though, because I feel like I get it from the point of view, yeah, we should, but I feel like as men, it's not everything we feel comfortable talking about. I think that's
Like
where
money.
money being one of them, and I feel like I won't say like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just feel like with those things, like I just feel like I have a certain how can I put it? I don't want to say narrative, but like I don't know. Okay, maybe I don't have to explain, but for example, like if I'm open up about money to, I don't know, whether it's a partner or whoever, I'm thinking that, you know what, maybe I don't know, because I'm saying this now and I'm being vulnerable now, but what about tomorrow?
Is she
Like,
gonna use it against me?
that's and that's always the thing, innit? And
Okay.
and I feel like men and money. Listen,
Yeah.
our ego, we don't.
The ego.
The ego.
Can I just say something about that though? Because so I have a friend that she was seeing this guy.
Yeah.
She didn't really like him. I knew that. She knew that.
Yeah.
She didn't
Oh
really
yeah,
like
he
him.
had money or something.
Huh?
He had money.
No. She didn't really like him, and I think he was like, she was in uni at the time, and he was coming to visit her at uni, and he had said that you know, oh babes, I just don't have that much. Like I can't, you know, come and do like a shop, or I can't really contribute. Like, I still want to see you this weekend, but I can't, you know, like don't expect me to come with like juice or anything because I just don't have it. And she called me and she was like, Dami, like that's just so just like, oh, like yuck, like that's giving me.
But
the
she
ick,
didn't
like,
like it. Is there
this is the
any
thing.
what just wait for that one excuse? That's what I'm saying.
No,
that
but
one
literally,
excuse.
she was just like, I can't be like, isn't he a man? Like, go, like, couldn't he just speak to one of his friends? But like, why are you coming to me with that? And I said, I promise you, it's because you don't like him. Because later, she got into a relationship where she was in love. And I said, if so and so said that, I'm not gonna lie, babes, I'm a bit down. What are you gonna do? She said, I'm going to transfer him my whole. I'm going to send him all the money I have. And it's not about, you know, you can't be vulnerable with this woman, or this woman's going to judge you. It's the person you're being vulnerable to. She just doesn't like you. It just is what it is. When a woman loves a man, there's very little that he can't say to her. He can say anything to her, and she'll be like, do you know what, it's fine, we'll figure it out together. Or, you know, you're a bit down, okay, where can I help you? Even though I don't, you know, advocate for women borrowing money to men. When a woman loves a man, there's very little she wouldn't do. So it's not about you're thinking about, is this woman going to judge me? Is she going to start looking at me funny? It's the person you're looking at. If she does those things, that's not someone that loves you. Because when a woman's in love, everything just goes out the window. I mean, all the rules are off the table.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think that's interesting, because I feel like all those things are not being said online. Online, we always get that same narrative online.
Absolutely, no one's being honest.
No one's, and so like, but somewhere along the line, someone has to be like, because are you telling me every single person online who's coming with that same narrative? Listen, it's because that's what I'm saying. It's like if you like someone, I guess as men we don't. It's not so much of. I mean, yeah, if we like someone, we'll do A, B, C and stuff, you know. But there's always a narrative of like, oh yeah, men, you know, we should spend this and that. But women don't spend that. But if the girl, trust me, if she likes him, she's spending money.
Women spend so
she's
much
spending
money on men that they love, and this is the thing. When men talk about women being selfish, I'm just thinking, which women? Which women are being selfish? The women that don't like you, absolutely. But a woman that loves you or really, really likes you or feels invested, she's going to spend money. If she's not selfish, naturally. Do you know what I mean? When I see it online, I just think, okay, you guys are dating women that don't like you, clearly, because the women I know.
Yeah, and I think there's like, I know, I guess, because even obviously we didn't necessarily have it. We had it more from a point of view of like mental health and stuff. Even like with the whole money thing, I feel like it's always a tricky one when it comes to money and like, because I think like naturally we don't like talking about it. Naturally, I don't, for whatever reason, everyone, and that's fine. Everyone has their reservations, but as men, I feel like, and I could, again, whoever listening watching, I could be wrong, but I feel like as men, we don't have a problem talking about amongst our guys.
Yeah.
If I can be a guy, listen, I'm going through this, but even with female friends, I don't think I'm ever.
You're not gonna talk about it.
Even with my ex-partner, no, I don't think I've ever spoken. And again, that can just be a thing of like, as a maybe not male pride, but just you know what, I don't even want a situation where like I have to ask you. I'm not, you know, I asked was already once, my ex, and I made sure never again.
Yeah, I feel like even as
You've got to also understand.
I disagree.
I
yeah.
have my own opinions. I can form them, and they're independent, and they probably can be independent of your own beliefs Do you know what I mean? So that happens, but I think for the most part, yeah, just being disrespectful, like that's where like you can no, you can't really always cross that line. So I think it's, I think it's mostly Gen Z. I don't
Gen
I don't I
Z,
don't even think I don't even think millennials.
They
I'll be honest. I think they're
don't
just
care.
they're
no, but
just
some Gen Zs are respectful depending on
Do you know?
who
I'm not
they're
gonna lie.
around
I
with.
do love Gen Z though because I
Yeah,
feel like they're shaking up the world
yeah
and
they are they
they're
are.
not having anything
And
from
yeah,
anybody. And I just
any little stress, listen, I'm
yeah,
gone.
I'm
Listen, I'm
gone.
yeah.
gone.
And I wish I was like I wish I was like them. They're doing amazing. I love it. I love it. They're not taking any prisoners.
Like, and it's good, but I think for the most, but even just like about the kids stabbing that something like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's yeah,
It's
It's a
sad.
bit mad, yeah.
It's
You're
unfortunate.
in the mud, and yeah, I don't know about that. I know you're quite pressed for time, so um, just on a last note, just I don't know what I would say, like not advice, but just something you feel like someone should know about in terms of like dealing with grief at a young age. Like I'm not saying there's like a set, right or wrong way, but just something that sort of helped you throughout your sister's loss.
I think when you've when it's still very new, allow yourself to go through the emotions. Like don't don't feel like you have to be strong because something bad has happened. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to not be strong. So allow yourself to go through the emotions. However long it takes you, it takes you. Obviously, it gets to a point where, and I think one of the hardest things about loss is that someone could die today. Life is still going on tomorrow. Like nothing stops. If you've got direct debits coming out the next day, they're still going to come out. Do you know what I mean? People are still going to work. The world doesn't stop because someone has died, and that's a very hard like truth to accept. So as much as you want to give yourself time to be in your emotions and um just go through the motions and feel how you're feeling, life goes on. So make a conscious effort to, put yourself back into society and carry on with things because as much as that person has lost their life, you still have yours. So you still have stuff to do. You have a purpose. Well, I believe you have a purpose anyway. So as much as someone's lost their life, you still have yours. You still gotta make something of it. So don't feel your life doesn't stop because someone has passed, number one. And number two, talk to people you trust. It's not going to be everybody. It might not even be up to 3 people. If you have 1, 2 people that you can trust, be honest with them, be open with them, and be vulnerable with them, and be vulnerable in the way you know how to. I'm not saying you should go to someone and start crying if that's not what comes naturally to you. Some people just want to talk through their thought processes, and it helps. Yeah, being open, being vulnerable, talking about how you feel, because sometimes it helps you understand why you feel the way you do, and understanding that loss is it's a bad thing. It's like the worst thing that can happen in the world. So dealing with it, if you don't deal with it well, it's understandable because I don't know anyone that really deals with loss well. And even if it seems like they are, they're probably just burying a lot of how they feel. And if you're someone that is, someone that's going through loss, or someone that's lost somebody, being there for them, like being physically there, like it's not fun. It's not fun being with someone that's sad all the time, or that's always sad and just not their usual self. Maybe your friend is like this bubbly person. All of a sudden they've gone through this loss and they no longer want to talk. They don't want to. They're not fun to be around. But literally being that person, it sounds like a burden and it's not easy to be like that support to someone. But trust me, it makes all the difference. Going through loss with people is much better than going through loss by yourself. So as much as you might not be the most bubbly person or the most fun to be around, like having people around really does help. People to take your mind off things, to people to keep you busy, just so you know that people are there, like be physically there. It's not just, messaging them every once in a while, like go to their house, sometimes even uninvited because you need to. Go to their house, make sure they're eating. Like people sleep on that, but make sure they're eating because when someone's going through loss, food is the last thing on their mind. Some people are the opposite. They're like overeating, but a lot of people, they're not thinking about food. They're not eating. Make sure they're eating. If it's like you're forcing them, you're going to their house to drop them food, make sure you're doing that because they're not thinking about cooking. But it's just the little practical things that being actually present is really important.
Yeah, no, some good.
It's great.
Yeah, that's listen.
It's a great advice, you.
Like you have to eat. And again, that's one thing we know you go for something when you don't even in the mood for eat.
Yeah.
I remember that happened to me with Lando. I was like, I love food, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like that time's like, yeah, I'm not even trying to. I don't even need to. I
You
can't
have
eat
no
right now.
appetite.
You have
Yeah.
it's just
You literally have to force yourself just for like nutrition.
exactly.
But
So
yeah, no.
it's tough,
I
man.
hear
It's
it.
tough. But thank you, Dami, for coming on, man.
It's
Really
my
appreciate it.
absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Sorry for keeping you.
No. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't even realize how time is
And
just
what
gone.
time? What time's your?
Well, I thought we'd be done by like 2:30, but it's like 3:15. But it's fine. Like it's not a problem. Like I will I mean I'll join back when I'm in the car and
Yeah.
see
Thank
how-
you, everyone, for listening to Thinking Out Loud. And our guest again, Demi. Yeah, thank you for coming again.
My
And
pleasure.
please subscribe to our podcast. We know there's a lot of unsubscribers out there that haven't clicked on it, so please click on the subscribe button and follow us on Instagram, Amazon,
Spotify,
Apple,
Podcasts.
and the list goes on.
Yeah, so thank you guys.
Yep.
That means been a pleasure, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's alright.
All right.